What is going on, YouTube? Welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're going to be walking you through the step-by-step process on how to acquire your first multifamily deal in 2025. And yes, it is completely possible and it is a fantastic time to be doing it. Now, by the end of the video, you're not only going to know the know-how or the education of how to do a deal, but if you stay throughout the entire thing, I'm breaking down the tangible steps that you need to implement to actually go out and do your first deal. So make sure you stay throughout the entire thing. And if you're new to the channel, my name is Gabe Bowling. I'm a 27-year-old real estate entrepreneur based out of Tampa, Florida. Today, we have over 330 units and over $50 million of assets under management that we've acquired over the last 3 years. Now, a lot of people know me for working for billionaire Grant Cardone's real estate team, Cardone Capital. I ended up raising over $100 million of equity for deals there and went through $3 billion of transactions. And now I've been in the real estate game for over 7 years and building what I like to believe a massive real estate empire. So make sure you bring your pen and a notebook. It's really important that you implement the information that we're covering in the video because education is useless until it is used, so you have to be able to take action. So make sure you subscribe if you're interested in doing multifamily deals, and let's go ahead and let's jump right in. So jumping right into it, multifamily in 2025. Now, I talk to probably hundreds of people on a monthly basis in the inside of our community, and our team talks to hundreds of people every single day. The biggest starting point for most investors is figuring out where exactly do you fit into a deal today, because inside of multifamily you can do like 100 million different things, which is oftentimes viewed as a good thing because you can get into a less popular part of the business and have less competition and make more money, or you could take more of like a proven path and make very predictable returns. And so we have to start before we even consider buying a deal. You have to make sure, based on where you're at today, what do you do to make your money, how much time do you want to allocate into multifamily in the first spot. Generally speaking, there's 3 different categories, or avatars we call them, that you can fall into inside of multifamily. So the first avatar is the deal finder. This is generally the person that doesn't have a ton of money, doesn't have a ton of experience, probably younger, hungry, and has a very good work ethic and willing to go out and do whatever it takes to get into their first deal to make a real meaningful amount of money, a couple hundred grand. This is the person that's newer to real estate and gonna go get trained, so they need to go find fantastic deals and then bring them to investors to get the deals done. Now, if you don't have a ton of experience, you're probably going to be partnering with avatar number 2, which is the operator / active person that's running the deal and calling the shot. This is generally successful home flippers, wholesalers, business owners, and people that are inside of operations and know how to run a project successfully on both the budget side and timeline. And then the last avatar is the passive investor. This is the person that has a good job or has a successful business, makes a lot of money, but just does not have a ton of time. And to be honest with you, if you stopped doing what it is you're doing that's making you a ton of money and you put that on pause to learn a brand new skill set to make money actively, you're actually losing opportunities from the main thing. So it doesn't make sense for you to jump all the way into the business. It just makes sense for you to take your hard-earned money and use multifamily as an investment vehicle and invest into the deals and get the benefits that real estate has to offer. So I want you to take a minute really quick and just decide for yourself, of these 3 avatars, which one do you most likely fit into. Go ahead and make sure you comment which avatar you are below, because we want to understand who we're talking to so we can tailor our content to help you the most. So now that you understand kind of where you fit into the business, if you're the investor, you need to learn the business so you can understand what a great deal is, but it's ultimately going to come down to picking and choosing which deals and operators you want to be investing with. Like, I've raised over $7 million of equity from passive investors. And if you're the operator or the deal finder, you need to get trained because you're developing a skill set that provides value to investors, and therefore you're getting paid a profit for doing all the work. So now I want to walk you through the perfect first deal. Because again, before I even show you, one, where to find deals, how to underwrite them, and then how to submit offers, you really need to have a baseline of what a great deal is in the first spot. So assuming that you're most likely either a deal finder or the active operator, and you're looking to get started and do your first multifamily deal, I'm a really big believer that you should start between 10 and 30 units, maybe up to 50 if you're in the Midwest, but I classify these as the adult flips, meaning it's just a little bit bigger than single family home, but you're not competing against big syndicators like myself, and then I'm a small guppy in the institutional world. I believe that there's 2 games being played. You have the retail game, which is like everyday regular investors, and then you have the massive institutional people, and that's where syndications fall in. So the most probable pathway for most investors getting operating in the multifamily is starting somewhere between 10 and 30 units. Now, the perfect deal, like the fundamental business that multifamily investing is value add investing, meaning you want to find an asset. In this case, it's a 10-unit building. Hypothetically, you could purchase it for $1 million, and this is the biggest indicator that you're looking for in this business. It's called upside, or the increase on rents that you can get after you renovate it and fix it up. So you're looking for $1,000 rent, and after you renovate it, make it nicer, you're looking to rent it for at least $1,300 or a $300 rent increase. This is where all the money is made in commercial real estate. And because you're increasing the income, the building you should be able to sell between $1.75 and $2 million, and that's almost $1 million profit on a 10-unit building. For big institutional players, that is not a ton of money, and they don't get too excited. It's almost looking at it like you're playing with breadcrumbs of a very large pie, but the breadcrumbs are 6, 7, and sometimes even 8-figure breadcrumb. I promised you tangible steps, so now let's go into the actual step-by-step process for you. Literally, you can stop what you're doing after you're done with this video, pause and go implement what I'm about to show you, and find a multifamily deal right this second you can underwrite and submit an offer on. I am not kidding you, so please pay attention. So make sure you have your pen, make sure you have your paper, and let's go. Step number 1, we need to go out and find a deal. Where are the spots that you can go? There's on-market and then there's off-market deals. So for on-market stuff, you can go to Crexy.com, and I'll actually pull it up and show you how many new deals are active right this second. You can also go to LoopNet.com. You can check out our completely free multifamily investing, TDRcommunity.com. It's literally free to be a part of, and you connect with other investors that are doing multifamily deals. And then leverage wholesalers and realtors. This is where you're going to find the off-market deals. You have to market yourself as an end buyer or the investor to these wholesalers that will go out and find deals and bring them to you. All right, so this is Crexy.com. What you're going to want to do is go to multifamily for your filter, and then make sure you put 5+ units. And then most importantly, make sure you filter by new listings. This is like you can jump on here every day, check out new stuff as it comes out every single day. There's deals being sold, 6,437 as of right this second for sale across the entire country. And you're telling me you can't find one single good deal? There's 34 units in Chula Vista, California, 10 units in Oregon, 12 units in Philly, 12 units in Denver, and I jump into my backyard in Tampa, there's 15 units that just came out in St. Augustine, Florida. There is nothing holding me back from clicking the inside of this listing, finding out who the broker is, picking up the phone and saying, hey, I'm interested in buying your building, can you tell me more about it? So after you start finding deals, you have to understand how to underwrite and put together a business plan. This is the most important portion of the entire process of buying the deal. You make your money by making sure you pay a fantastic price and making sure you can execute your business plan. So the 2 documents you need to actually underwrite a deal, and you can't just do back of the napkin, which is a fantastic way to learn the business, but when you're ready to start like taking action and really doing deals, you need to vet out the details. And so to properly underwrite the deal, you need the T12. This is the trailing 12 months of operating income and expenses. A really good analogy is, imagine you're a doctor and you're looking at the medical charts for the patient of the last 12 months, and the patient is the apartment complex. What you're looking for is signs of distress and a very clear pathway of how you could operate the deal better and increase the net income. And the second document you need is the rent roll. This is actually what determines a lot of the value because you're paying for contractual leases. And this is one of the most important numbers when underwriting. So whenever you properly underwrite a deal, you want to take into account all of the possible income and all of the possible expenses like taxes, insurance, management, all of it. And you can't guess on it. You have to have accuracy. The way I look at if a deal is a good deal is how much can we grow the net operating income from 600 to 750 over the next 3 years. So that's going to add value to the deal. So after you put together your business plan, you can back into a price that makes sense for you. So like here, the broker wanted $11 million and we backed into an $8 million purchase price. So if you don't know what you're doing, you're going to overpay. So you started looking at deals, you have deals coming in, or you're going out, you're finding them on Crexy. So you found the deal, you now underwritten it, and you know what price you can pay. The last step in the process is to gather a team that can actually close and operate the deal, and then submit your letter of intent or your offer. So referring back to the 3 parts of the deal, you have the person that's going to be raising the capital, you have the person that's going to be signing on the debt, and then you have the person that is going to be operating the deal after the closing. So for For an example, I partnered with a member inside of our community on a 28-unit deal for $4 million. I'm not a construction person, but I put the deal together and I raised $1.6 million of capital for it. And then my partner, Noah, who found it, is showing up to the property a couple times a week and managing the project. So that's two partners coming together to make sure that this big project up here gets executed. And I know it might seem simple, but that literally is the step-by-step guide to go out and buy deals. You have to, one, be educated and know exactly how to underwrite and know what a good deal is, how to talk to brokers, and all of the learning portion of the business. But after you're done learning, which you can do all through my YouTube, or you can jump into our completely free multifamily investing community, you have to go out and take action. You'll never make money on a deal you don't own. And unfortunately, you'll never own a deal if you're not submitting offer. And that's why we put together a completely free community for you. We've been running a private community now for the last 2.5 years, and we decided to add in a free tier to it because we're looking to grow one of the largest multifamily investing platforms on the internet, and we need your help to do so. So if you want to be around other people that are actively trying to do deals, we have thousands of members across the country. All you have to do to join is make sure you click the link in the description, complete your profile, and introduce yourself.